Well, thank you very much. And I'd like to thank my colleague, Congresswoman Norton, for arranging this important discussion about an issue that is moving quickly in state capitals across the country. Here in Washington, D.C., Congress, maybe not so much. I'd like to speak about the legal regulated use of marijuana for medical and commercial sale because this is an important issue that has garnered attention nationwide as states and communities continue to enact laws to allow for legal and carefully regulated and taxed sale and use. We see this in all parts of the country, in all types of communities, and we see it not just passed by state legislatures, but mandated through public referenda. I represent the heart of the Las Vegas Valley in the state of Nevada, where for nearly 14 years we've had a voter-approved mandate allowing for medical marijuana. And then just last year, the state legislature put forth a legal framework for medical marijuana businesses to be permitted, regulated, and to go into operation around the state. This has led to enormous interest from investors and entrepreneurs, researchers, and mostly importantly from patients who now can benefit through the assistance of their physicians from medical marijuana for treatment for all kinds of things, a variety of things from epileptic seizures in children, PTSD treatment, pain relief from cancer, appetite enhancers for people undergoing chemotherapy, and HIV/AIDS. Nevada is now one of 23 states with legal marijuana for medical or commercial sale, and those numbers continue to grow after poll shows increasing support for legalization and regulation. We saw 2 states just in the election last week where marijuana was approved. Now that brings us to what's happening here in Congress. Now, over the course of the 13th congressional session, we've seen considerable advancement that had not been the case up until now. A few years ago, just a short time ago, only a small group of members of Congress would be willing to speak out about medical marijuana, much less support any kind of legislation that would update our nation's antiquated drug laws. But today, Democrats and some Republicans have come together to advocate for this industry and work to update the nation's laws to catch up to what's happening in the states and to reflect the realities of what's going on in Nevada, in Washington, D.C., and in places around the country. For the first time, with the help of leaders like Congressman Blumenauer, Congressman Rohrabacher, and others, the House of Representatives passed not 1 but 2 significant amendments to protect the rights of states when it comes to legal marijuana sale and use. As more states and communities move forward with ballot initiatives like the one that passed here in D.C. 2-1, or with regulatory laws like those that were just enacted in Nevada, it's important that we as elected representatives of our community become educated and advocate for the community's best interest. Because of the important potential role that medical marijuana will play in Nevada's economic future, and because this conversation is so quickly becoming a national issue, I have tried to educate myself and have been traveling the country, visiting dispensaries, growers, and experts in the industry to learn about the fiscal and scientific potential, as well as the obstacles that are faced by these businesses. I traveled to the Berkeley Patients Group, the Apothecarium, and Bloom Dispensary in the San Francisco Bay Area to learn more about how the industry has evolved from leaders like Sean Luce, Ryan Hudson, and Salwa Ibrahim, all of whom are recognized experts and innovators in the field of medical marijuana. I went to Arizona to visit with Bess DeVola and Dr. Sue Sisley and discuss the advantages of medical marijuana in treating veterans with PTSD and for helping seniors. I also met with folks at Monarch Wellness Center to hear how an entrepreneur's personal history with his mother's medical condition inspired him to open Scottsdale's first medical marijuana dispensary. And I recently traveled to Colorado, where I was very impressed by CanLab's facility that is bringing the highest standards of quality and safety to the medical cannabis industry. I would encourage my colleagues here in Congress to visit these businesses, talk to their employees, and see firsthand that today's industry is not just some little head shop on the corner with a picture of Che Guevara. It is a very professional, very scientific, very regulated industry. It's a modern, professional office with skilled and educated personnel. So we have more work to do. It's begun, but we have a lot to do as we start the 114th Congress. We should concentrate on issues that are having a significant impact and bringing uncertainty to an industry that is booming and needs certain protections. We also need to regulate it to protect children, for example, and also hold it accountable so it can make a financial contribution by being a legal regulated operator that pays taxes. Congress should also allow medical personnel at our veterans hospitals to recommend the best available care for our nation's veterans, and that may include medical marijuana. This could help with of PTSD that are far too common in our Iraq and Afghanistan veterans. We must also ensure that products are available for vital research into the medical benefits of marijuana. So far, the research has mostly been on the negative side. What are the possible positive contributions that can come from studying the benefits so we can advance the science and move us beyond that notion of reefer madness? And as you have been hearing from my colleague, it's important that in considering all of this, Congress respect home rule and the will of the people. That is certainly true in the District of Columbia. Their laws need to be respected because they have been enacted in the best interest of that own community, just as state laws are, and we need to respect those states' rights. So I look forward to continuing to work with my colleagues on this important issue and to protect the rights and interests of those communities like Washington and states like Nevada, where the people have decided that this is the way of the future. So I thank you for letting me join you today, and I look forward to working with you on this issue.
Well, Ms. Titus,